NFL agents reportedly say Texans won't sign players who knelt during the national anthem. That's via the Washington Post. Now, if you do remember, the Houston Texans have come under fire, not the player, but the owner. When Colin Kaepernick was protesting to bring light that there is police brutality in urban areas and mainly consistent with African American citizens in the United States being treated poorly, even like Philando Castile, Michael Brown, Alton Sterling, the list goes on, getting murdered and killed by police. He was trying to bring attention to it. But then during the owners' meetings last October, in case you want me to refresh your memory, here is what occurred.
The owner of the Houston Texans is apologizing after his comments about the ongoing protests of NFL players during the national anthem. During a meeting between players and owners last week, Bob McNair said if the league didn't stop the protests, it would be like, quote, inmates running the prison.
It would be like the inmates running the prison. And yet it seems like it is still like that to this day. Because if we could show that Washington Post headline one more time, NFL agents are telling their players that the Houston Texans, if you knelt, they do not want to sign you. You could be doing some great things for your community. You could be a great citizen in America. You could be trying to bring awareness to your own causes. And yet the Houston Texans, along with many others, simply do not want it. Another team that doesn't want it, although he has retracted his statement today, he still put it out there, and there was still a lot of time for it to marinate. Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross via the New York Daily News. On the national anthem protests, all our players will be standing. This is an authoritarian-like way to run an organization. And then there was this from the Houston Chronicle and Jerome Solomon, who covers the Houston Texans. I spoke with two NFL agents this week who said word is the Texans aren't interested in any players who participated in pregame kneeling. There's no directive within the organization, but it is considered to be understood that as desperate as the Texans are to bring in talent, the pool of potential signees and draftees will not include anyone who has participated in protests or are likely to. Onward. Yet the Texans owner has been racially tone deaf often enough that many believe race is a significant factor in how the team runs its business. There are many who believe that McNair could find a team with all white, all conforming, all pro talent. He would. This is an owner clearly that beloves the Negro leagues that existed when there was segregation in America. Lastly, you might be shocked at how some within the organization have responded when asked about the head of the team's perceived racism, from uncomfortable shrugs to comments like, I am not surprised people think that, to the unfortunate and laughable, but our GM was black defense. I've been told that twice in the past couple weeks, wrote Jerome Solomon. Bob McNair, pretty terrible guy, donated $1 million to Trump's inaugural committee. So already you're learning a lot about him. And then there's the case of Dwayne Brown. So I'm going to show you this real quick. Brown recalled an occasion during his rookie year of 2008 when Barack Obama, I love the way, by the way, Chris Rock says Barack Obama. Every time we say Barack Obama, you should think of how Chris Rock says it. Was elected the nation's first African-American president. By the way, do we think that Bob McNair has ever been to a Chris Rock show? Quote, he came to talk to the team. He said, I know a lot of y'all are happy right now, but it's not the outcome that some of us were looking for. That was very shocking to me. Dwayne Brown also went on to say this in video form when he was talking to one reporter about Bob McNair and the comments that he had, how it was very, very unsurprising for him to say this. Take a look.
Has your opinion on him changed?
My opinion on him?
On Bob McNair?
I said I'm not surprised by it. We put our bodies and minds on the line every time we step on that field. And to use an analogy of inmates in a prison, I said it's disrespectful. Can't stay quiet about it. Everyone has their, as far as the protest is concerned, I think, people are going to feel how they feel about it, but this is bigger than just the protest. This is the view of player-owner relationship. This is how you view us. This is, you get out of line, you're an inmate. We can't let you get out of line. We can't let you speak for yourself. We can't let you have your own beliefs. That's what it feels like. So I I said, it's a bad situation.
It's a completely bad situation. And yet it shows how backwards the NFL is and how forward the NBA is. Oh, wait, speaking of, remember they had that racist, bigoted POS owner named Donald Sterling? You know, that one that not put out, but the one that was recorded saying disparaging remarks about minorities? Let me refresh your memory one more time.
Taking pictures with minorities. Why?
What's wrong with minorities?
By walking, you're perceived as either a Latina or a white girl. Why should you be walking publicly with black people? Why? Is there a benefit to you?
Is it a benefit to me? Does it matter if they're white or blue or yellow?
I guess that you don't know that. Maybe you're stupid.
Do you know that I'm mixed?
No, I don't know.
You know that I'm mixed.
You told me you were going to remove those. You said, yes, I understand you. Yeah, it bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you're associating with black people.
Because your entire team isn't full of minorities and black people in the NBA. So what happened? Adam Silver, to really put his balls on the table and say, no, this ends right now. He ousted Donald Sterling. Steve Ballmer sold the team. But yet, Bob McNair, his message wasn't, don't be racially motivated, don't be insensitive. It was this via Dwayne Brown. The message was more to be careful who you have private conversations with, because things that you think are confidential can spread like wildfire. In my mind, it would probably have been better if he said, don't be a racist, instead of be a racist in private and make sure it doesn't get out. Look, man, Bob McNair has continually proven that this is how owners feel. He just got caught in it. This is peeling back the curtain to how most NFL owners feel. And we shouldn't really be surprised, but what should happen is Bob McNair should lose the right to make any money off of this team, or rather, he should be forced to sell the team in order for Roger Goodell and many others to make a case and make a point and make a statement here on how owners should and should not treat their employees. It's despicable.